The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally produced on October 10th, 2020, under the constellation of Libra, in the mental week examining through the knee chakra. Me. If there is a duality on which we all base ourselves and in which we walk, that is the matrix and pattern duality. We have already talked about both, and not as the polarity that it represents in our lives. We have said that the matrix comes from Latin and means uterus, gestation matrix, which gives rise to the word mother or mom. And on the other hand, patron comes from the Latin protector, which gives rise to the word father or dad. But what is the relationship between the two beyond mom and dad? Gestatrix and protector. I am. Visualize a spider web. The entire fabric of the network is what you call the matrix. It is all the possible paths interconnected as a whole. Now, each one of the fabrics that compose it are the individual paths of a network, each one carrying a specific vibration, and they are called patterns. The divine matrix, then, is the cosmic fabric made up of millions of patterns. Without patterns, the matrix would not recognize its structure, its strength, or its destiny. But without the matrix, the pattern would have no purpose or meaning. Me. So we need the matrix to make sense and the patterns to have goals. I am. As we said, the matrix is a network of networks, an eternal and multi-dimensional framework, like an extensive cave full of thousands of cobwebs, and cross each other, creating a single matrix. It crosses all dimensions, all existences, and connects all directions of time and space, and multiplies to a greater number of weaver spiders. Me. Who are the spiders? I am. They are the alchemists of reality, those who were able to understand how reality works and were able to build their own. Spiders are not those dark creatures of nightmares. The patterns of the divine fabric is hidden in them, 8 legs that represent the 4 directions of time and space, creating the cube, the center of the cosmic fabric. And with their 8 eyes, they contemplate, feel, and perceive the resonance, the vibration of said paths. The weavers are those who traverse the directions of time and space from the center of the web and feel the resonance and consciously observe everything that happens to them. Me. Is it possible then that what I'm doing in my life is preparing myself to be a spider? I am, that's right, joining the network, being in the axis of the fabric of the planetary consciousness. Each day you place yourself in the center of the fabric, in a cube, from which you pull the resonance of the 4 times and the 4 spaces. And to do it every time more consciously, you work on your patterns, the strings that connect the web. Me. Each topic we're working on represents a pattern, well, one of those network structures that I must adjust in myself in order to feel the vibration. I am. The history of humanity exists thanks to patterns. Without bosses, you wouldn't be here. The biology of the world was designed to protect itself from external conflicts. Thus, each cell of your body has programmed to defend your being and seeks its sustenance. That which has managed to protect you, which has been successful, keeps repeating itself constantly, proudly. Thus, what protected you can continue to protect you always, becoming a pattern. Culturally, hominids have placed the hunter and the warrior man in a role, and over time they came to know him as the patron of the family, the chief, the father. Families then began to be guided by laws and instructions from the father, who also became patrons. The struggle for survival placed beyond all the paternalistic systems that ended up becoming the power of the father, the patriarchy. Thus, every system that is available to the structure of war, defense, control, whether directed by a man or a woman, is recognized as patriarchy. Not by the male, but by the fight, the supremacy, and the defense. Thus, throughout the history of each family, patterns begin to repeat themselves with the aim of protecting the integrity of the nucleus and the clan. Me. But there is a notion that patterns are bad. Why? I am. Because patterns are based on fear and insecurity in the face of change and transformation. Permanence is guaranteed. For this reason, when a person seeks to change her life, she begins to identify the pattern that prevent her from doing so, and she is forced to fight against them to open the way to something new. It looks like a fly stuck in a spider's web. Me. In other words, the bosses are there to defend us and to ensure our lives, and they hold us back and prevent us from continuing to live in freedom if we seek to get out of them. I am, because its mission is precisely to keep you stable, without transformation, because there's a risk of dying. Therefore, family, culture, society, educational, religion, philosophical, and scientific systems will do everything possible to fight against anyone who wants to break the pattern on which they're based. Me. And how do we get out of these patterns? I am. As we said, you have to understand why they were there in the first place. A pattern is a traveled path. You cannot retrace a path. You cannot unlearn acquired knowledge or wisdom, but you can resignify them and give them a new meaning or purpose. The reason for the pattern is to ensure your survival through a way of acting. Therefore, show your life, your family, your body, your soul that you can use another way, transcendental, to get the same result. For example, there are many people who believe that throughout their history they have survived as a family thanks to the tolerance of the same partner all their lives, and then they tirelessly seek to find a partner to feel safe. However, when one becomes aware, and you know you don't need another person to feel stability and security, so you have shown life that you can find a stability in loving freedom without always having to look for a partner. It is a very general example, but common since you're mammals. Me. Yes, I understand. It's something very of this species. And why do we think that the pattern is the opposite of the matrix? I am. Well, if the pattern is a line, the matrix is all of the fabric of lines. The pattern marks a path to where to go, and the matrix wraps around all the directions with nowhere to go. Thus, two concepts have something in common in the human notion. Everyone wants to free themselves from mom and dad, and they see that the matrix is a prison and a pattern is a mandate. Both prevent free action. You are determined by what mom and dad have done. The matrix is the generating network. It is not a trap. It is the vibration that connects everything and goes through the existence. It is eternity. Me, love, I am. And the pattern is a fundamental source that drives one to realize oneself, to search, to build. It is the intention that leads to the transformative action. Me, the will, I am, and together they manifest understanding, the ability to recognize that every impulse is the tool that allows us to create from the eternal vibration and integrate the fruits of what we have been able to generate. Me, wisdom. I am, love, and will are the parents of wisdom, the sacred trinity of divine attributes, the balance of both networks. The matrix and the pattern lead to full awareness and learning what is meant to be and manifest. Both paths unify the eternal and the finite, the fabric of existence from which we learn and improve at every step. Thus, the patterns are the tools constituted to allow us to continue on the path. and those tools have been giving us the skills to use them. You cannot forget them, but you can learn new tools, improve them, improve your technique, and by discovering that potential, you express creativity, love, expression, life, and both concepts generate the meaning of your existence. You become wise. Therefore, when you recognize that matrix and pattern are not external or opposite aspects. Me, well, you only find the freedom of being when you are capable of becoming the creator yourself from the wisdom of your experience, manifesting with will a generation of love. I am. Look at everything that this matrix taught you, everything that your patterns showed you, and turn them into the wisdom to create a great network that hangs from your heart. Me. I am the network of the matrix and the pattern, converted into the wisdom that awakens will and love in all the paths of creation. My heart's